for the last 3 years, all of us have enjoyed sharing the basketball insights of Red Auerbach. But, you know, a large part of enjoying a friendship with Red really is hearing the marvelous anecdotes that he's stored up over the years. And, Red, so many basketball fans ask me, how come the cigar symbol? How did it ever get started with Red?
Well, it started as a note of defiance. You see, when Maurice Polaroff was commissioner of the league, every time I got thrown out of a ball game, I didn't get the $50 fine that everybody else got. I got $250. That's what it was. Extraordinary action beyond the normal reaction of getting thrown out. Well, it was my personality, and that's what happened. So I figured out, how can I get back at him? So one day I got the idea I'm going to smoke a cigar on the bench. So after we had the ball game locked up, I made a big to-do, you know, lighting the cigar, putting my feet up and saying, the game is over, just let's have some fun. So sure enough, I got the reaction from the league, you can't smoke cigars on the bench. So in my own inimitable way, I called him up and I said, you have fellas like Joe Lapchick and some of the others smoking on the bench. They were smoking cigarettes. I said, this is no airplane. I said, if they could smoke cigarettes, I could smoke a cigar. And I just defied him, and I did it. And the funny part about it, right after I retired, the Boston Garden put a law in here, no smoking in the building. So I got out in time.
How many times did you get technicals or get tossed out of a game just to inspire the Celtics, just to stir them up a bit?
Well, I was so smart that I got fined $17,000 in 20 years. I couldn't have been that clever in picking my spots. But I figure, you know, you win a few, you lose a few. So I would gamble. But a technical foul can be a calculated thing if it's done right. You got to be a master at it. You got to know when to get the referees, how much you can get away with.
Al McGuire, he did that.
Oh, Al did that, sure. It was like a page out of the book, so to speak. Well, anyway, a lot of times we start a ball game, and the team is flat. Nothing's happening. I make one substitution, 2, 3, 5, everything moving. Next thing I know, we're in the early part of the third quarter, and nothing's going. We're about 14, 15 down. I say to myself, Red, it's time to go. There's no way they're going to win this game with you here. So what I did, I started on the referee. He'd come down the court, and I say, how could you possibly work this game? You couldn't work a high school game. As a matter of fact, I don't think they keep you in high school. That's how bad you are. You blow. He wasn't doing anything different. He was just saying, well, but I had it. And finally, he could take this jockey no more. And he says, technical foul. I said, did I cuss you? He says, sit down. I figured, that's not the time to get tossed. See, I got to wait for another one, see. So I wait till he comes down again about 30, 40 seconds later. He says, come to think of it, you know you got rabbit ears. And you're not hustling. And they hate to hear the thing when you tell them they're not hustling. So he looks at me and stares at me. And I said, that's typical. You're looking at me, and the game is out there. I said, how can you work the game? You're looking at me. You don't know what the heck you're doing. And he says, that's enough technical foul. You're out. So now I figure, for the same money, I might as well have my say. So I take after him. What do you mean? I didn't cuss him. And Russell would always grab me and pick me up. And I'd look up at him. I said, damn you, put me down. And then Cousy would stand in front of me. He was afraid I was going to hit the referee and all that kind of stuff. So what would happen, I was working on a crowd. See, all this time I was working on a crowd and also working on my ball club. They just weren't, you know, they weren't doing it. So I was getting them, now they're mad, picking on poor little Red. Picking on poor little Red. So they throw me out. I go in the dressing room. I swear to you, at least 80, 85% of those games we'd win. Now, I never deluded myself. I never felt, hey, they wanted for good old Red and dear old Red. Heck, they wanted to show they could win it without me.
Red, thank you very much. I tell you, I could listen to Red Auerbach stories all day long, but we have run out of time with Red on Roundball.